Hey everybody, so today your next challenge is going to be to create a different kind of game. So you already made a chase game and you should have been able to customize it and make it the kind of chase game that you want it to look like. Maybe you picked a different theme or different characters, maybe you have some interesting sound effects to make the game more interesting. But today we're going to make a totally different style of game. So much like last time, make sure that you're signed in so you can see your username. And then in the top banner, we're going to click on Create. It'll take you to a blank project. And if you remember, to get the tutorial on how to make this type of game, up here in the top banner, you'll see tutorials. And there are all kinds of tutorials. Hey, look at this. I could sort them. I could just click Game. There we go. And we're going to try making a clicker game. We click on that. A video will pop up. And we play it and listen.
You can use Scratch to make a clicker game. Let's pick a sprite. I'll choose the balloon. Let's make.
And just like the other game that we did, you can shrink the panel. And they said pick a sprite. So let's go down here, pick on a new sprite. And in this case, I might want to pick an object. Ooh, I know, I have an idea already. I can use a bat. Let's see what they recommend next.
You can play a sound when I click it. To add a score, let's first create a variable called.
Okay, so there's some other steps. Maybe with my bat, I'll come over here and I will go to sounds. And that's not really the sound I want, so I'm going to record my own sound. And I'm going to make a squeaky sound like a bat. Let's see how it goes. Word. Oops, I messed up. Re-record. Let's do re-record. Gotta hit record. All right, let's see how it sounds. Not too bad. So I'm going to trim a little bit of the extra empty sound. Too bad. I'll click save. And now remember, when we play with sounds, we can modify the sound. So I can make it faster or slower. Oops. Where'd my thing go? Click back. Let's undo those changes. And let's try changing up. Ooh, reverse. Not too bad. And also this, you can trim out sound. You see how I just highlighted there? I clicked and I dragged. And I'm going to hit delete. Remove the sound. Not sound like a bat at all. All right, I'm going to go with that for right now. And then I'll set up code like they mentioned. So I'm going to come over here to events. And I'll say when sprite is clicked. I'll go to sounds. And say start sound recording 1. I never named it anything, so it's just generic recording 1. If I want to, I could have written or I could have titled it, bat sound or something like that. So now in the game, when I click this bat, he's going to make that sound. Now in their tutorial, let me go back to the tutorial because I lost it. They'll explain in the clicker game how to make this game interactive.
I'll choose the balloon. Variable called score.
It'll show you how to make a score.
Now we can add the change variable block to our code. Click the green arrow to see this code again and explore what else you might add to your game.
So that's one way to build up this game. But I have to say that if that character just sits there the whole time, that's not going to be very exciting. So what you can do with the game is you can have this character do some interesting things like appear and disappear and move locations. Let me give you some advice on how to do that. So right now, my bat says when the sprite is clicked, start sound. That's good. But what I would like to have happen is I want this bat to appear other places. So I'm going to do this. When the flag is clicked, I'm going to go to repeat 10 times. Go to a random position. Now, when I run this, watch what happens. Whoa, he was all over the place. I'm going to have him wait. So I'm going to have him go to a random position, and then I'm going to have him wait. Now, remember this. I want this game to be a little challenging. So I'm going to have him not wait 1 second, because watch. If he waits 1 whole second, it's pretty, well, it's pretty easy to catch him. So if I were to set it to something lower than the number 1, like 0.9 or 0.8, he will be faster than he was when he was at 1 second. Whoop, missed him. Got him. So you can do that and make it more challenging if you wanted to. You could even, ooh, wait. You remember I showed you how to use Alt. If you hold down the Alt key, duplicate, you could have 2 bats. That's going to change the game. Watch this. Now there's a couple bats popping all around the screen. My job is to click them, and that makes the game a little more challenging. Then what you could do is, if you want to, you can always go into that bat's costume, and if you wanted to change him somehow, maybe make him like a purple bat or a purple-nosed bat. There we go. You can change the game a little bit to make it more interesting. You could even change some of the code to perhaps make it like this one. If you click it, it's worth more points. You can do other things as well besides just having them go to random positions. You could have them glide on the screen, because in the motion blocks, you have glide 1 second to a random position. Ooh, let's do that. Let's see what happens. Let's change up bat number 2. So instead of bat number 2 always going to a random position like instantly, let's have him glide to the random position. And I'm going to have him go pretty fast. So I'm going to set my number to 0.5 because I want him to move quickly. And most of the time that will make him move pretty quickly with the game. So let's see. Oops, I got myself into trouble here. Resize the screen. And I'll have him wait. Let's have him wait a smaller time. Let's do a ½ second for him. All right, let's see what happens to our bat here. There we go. Now he's moved. Ooh, get over here. I got him. Gotcha. Okay, so that makes the game a little more interesting. I could change these numbers. If I want him to glide even faster, if I want him to wait even a shorter amount of time, I could change these numbers. Think of those as the variables to make the game behave differently. So what happens if I set it to 0.1? He should be pretty fast then, right? And what if I set this to 0.1? We're going to have I'm predicting we're going to have a pretty fast moving bat. Let's see. Oh gosh. Okay, that might be too hard. I don't know. You want to have the game actually be fun to play, and if he's moving so fast, it might be too difficult. So maybe I'll alter those numbers a little bit to try and make him a little bit easier to catch. But you have the opportunity, when you do this, to make a really cool game. You can theme it in different ways. So maybe I would do this like Bats in the Castle. So we'll have the castle theme, and the bats are around, and we have to pretend my job is to capture the bats. So if I click them, they disappear, or I get a point for clicking them, and that's the goal of the game. But this is how you make a clicker game. Make it interesting. Customize it. You can customize the sound. You can customize the look. No one said you just had to have 1 sprite. No one said you just had to have 2. You could make 5 or 6 sprites on here and make the game extra interesting. I could change their sizes too if you wanted to make it more challenging this way. Let's set a size to 50%. Now I've got a little baby bat. That could be more fun. Who knows? But you've got all these options that you could control. But make the best clicker game that you can. Keep it interesting, give it a good theme, and let's see what you're able to come up with in the time you have.